Shout out to G-Man Boxing.
Alright people, on Sunday I released a video, 3 reasons why Oleksandr Usyk beats Tyson Fury. And always, we do things objectively on this channel. So I've had a look at Oleksandr Usyk, and I've also had a look at Tyson Fury. And certain things that I think he does better than Anthony Joshua as well, or that Anthony Joshua just was seemingly unwilling to do in both fights. And these are reasons. Look, if this fight happens, well, obviously it won't happen this year, understandable, but next year, I would be picking Tyson Fury. Just based upon when I look at both guys and what they can do, I would pick Tyson Fury. I would pick him. Now, I had to come up with 3 reasons, and 3 reasons, they're quite similar to the 3 reasons I felt Anthony Joshua would beat Oleksandr Usyk. However, when I see Tyson Fury do some of these things, for me, from the outside looking in, he does them better. He does them better, and he sets things up, which is going to be the first point. You know, I said about Anthony Joshua going into the rematch with Oleksandr Usyk, if he wants to have his best chance of beating Usyk or stopping Usyk, rather than throwing haymakers just willy-nilly, set them up. So for example, set your right hand up with your jab, or jab Usyk to the body and then follow through with a right hand to the head. If you're looking to land an uppercut, you jab, you blind him with that jab, and you shoot an uppercut up the guard, because Usyk has a tendency to come with the earmuffs on. Now, Anthony Joshua didn't do any of that. You know, I saw in that fight, the rematch, from very early on, AJ was exerting himself, he was throwing power shots, and he was missing Usyk. Or if he was landing, he wasn't landing clean, he was landing on gloves or arms. But for the most part, Usyk did a very good job making Anthony Joshua miss. And I suspect that's one of the reasons why he gassed so bad late on in that fight, was because Usyk made him miss. I mean, if you look at Deontay Wilder, when he fought Tyson Fury in the first fight, because bear in mind, Deontay Wilder gassed a bit in both the second and the third fight, but that's because he was heavier. There's no way, it's because he was heavier. He was blown after the first round in the third fight, you know, after even in the second fight, because he put on so much excess muscle. If you look at him in the first fight, that was probably Wilder. He wore a mask, but a mask at that weigh-in, and I think he had some clothes on as well. I think he was pretty much fully clothed at that weigh-in, and he was still only about 211. So you would imagine Wilder in that first fight would have been below 210. And towards the end of that fight was when Wilder started to slow down a bit and get more fatigued. Why was he getting more fatigued? Because Fury was making a miss. It's as simple as, if you're throwing big haymakers, big bombs, and you're missing, doesn't matter who you are. You could be the fittest heavyweight in the world. It's going to tire you. It will. And that was one of the problems with Anthony Joshua. I think with Tyson Fury, against someone like an Oleksandr Usyk, he's going to set his shots up very well, and he's going to pick the correct shots. So have a look on screen. We've all seen this, the uppercut that finished Dillian Whyte. I'm going to watch it with you. Obviously, jab to blind him, and Dillian Whyte's open to that uppercut and it lands. Right? Let's have a look at it again now in slow motion. So Fury is jabbing. Dillian Whyte has the guard up. He's looking for an opportunity. Boom, there's the uppercut. Jab to blind him. Uppercut. Yeah, there's a shove. But Dillian Whyte was going down anyway. Let's not even pretend that had that little push hadn't happened, Dillian Whyte would have stayed in his feet. There's not a chance he would have. Let's just rewatch it one last time in slow motion, okay? Tyson Fury blinding Dillian Whyte with the jab from long range, looking to set it up. Dillian Whyte, eyes off the prize, boom, uppercut, under the guard. That was all she wrote. Now, if someone like Oleksandr Usyk is in front of Tyson Fury, bear in mind, Usyk moves, is a great mover. But if Fury's ever in a position where he's able to control Usyk with that jab, if he can even so much as just shoot an uppercut, which is one thing I said that Anthony Joshua needed to do against Oleksandr Usyk, and he didn't do it. He didn't do it in the first fight, he didn't do it in the second fight. When he tried to do it in both fights, he tried to use roughhouse tactics, and Usyk, with a high ring IQ, was able to see that coming instantly. He was instantly able to see that coming. So that's the first point. Fury is good at setting up his shots, and I think Fury's ring IQ is higher than that. Well, I'd say it definitely is. He knows what shots to land on the opponent. He knows, I guarantee you, if Fury was fighting Usyk, he'd be able to have a look at Usyk from across the ring and would almost be able to say, like, okay, based upon what you're doing, as awkward as it may be and as unused to it as I am, you might be open for these shots and this shot and this shot, and I'm not going to just chuck it out there. I'm going to set it up. So the first reason why I think Tyson Fury beats Oleksandr Usyk is his shot selection and the fact he can set the shots up. The second reason is, have a look at this is from an Oleksandr Usyk amateur fight against Artur Beterbiev. Body shot goes in. So Beterbiev throws a little shot on Oleksandr Usyk. Usyk goes down. So it's not indicative of someone with a weak body, but I definitely feel as though, well, obviously one of the shots AJ did make an effort to target Anthony Joshua's body in the rematch. Now, he did hit Usyk low, and there's no evidence, but that was a low blow. So when Usyk, and I remember Sky were trying to make it out, and again, like, you really have to question the morals of Sky Sports, that they made it out originally, until the real that wasn't low. It was clear, Stevie Wonder could see that was low. But AJ made an effort to target Usyk's body because I suspect, this is only my suspicion, I'm not going to say Usyk's got an Amir Khan type chin on his body, if you know what I mean. It's not that weak. But I would imagine that Usyk probably doesn't have the strongest body, just based upon some of the things we've seen from him in the amateurs. And again, most heavyweights don't tend to target the body. Well, Tyson Fury can target the body when he wants to. Tyson Fury is good at switching up the head and body when he needs to. He's not... AJ is good at that as well, and he did definitely, and you could see it in that rematch. He was making an effort to target Usyk's body. I just don't think he did enough. I think if Tyson Fury sees an opening or he sees a weakness there in Usyk stemming from the body, I think he's going to go and target that. I think he's going to target Oleksandr Usyk's body, and I think Tyson Fury, well, I don't even think you need to be a big puncher to hurt someone with a body shot. I mean, you look at Triple G, one of the best chins in the sport, maybe one of the best chins the sport has ever seen. Derevchenko, who couldn't do anything to Triple G's head, was able to hurt Triple G to the body. You don't need to be a destructive, explosive Deontay Wilder type puncher to hurt a fighter to the body. It swings around, it swings both ways. You could look at Tyson Fury and say, like, okay, look, if Usyk targeted the body, because not many people would really go to Tyson Fury's body when you think about it in that sense. Dylan White didn't really, with a name like the Body Snatcher. And I think with Tyson Fury, I mean, this isn't a Usyk keys to victory as well, but the body is not used much at heavyweight, in a sense of most fighters tend to not really target it. And I think they're missing a key there. They're missing the trick. At the end of the day, these are big men with huge muscles, and they can't keep the same work rate up as welterweights. They struggle. Like, looking at Joshua, like, he would struggle to hold his hands up in the high guard for 12 rounds with those arms the size. They're just the way it is. Most heavyweights are fixated on the head. Vladimir Klitschko, when he fought Povetkin, didn't throw one body shot, right? But I think heavyweights, if they go to people's bodies more, you're going to make a fight very easy for yourself. And I think Tyson Fury will go to Oleksandr Usyk's body. I really do. I think he will. Now, the last point of this is, now, when I did the video on Tyson Fury and 3 reasons why I feel Usyk beats him, I used some clips from the Steve Cunningham fight, and people kept commenting in the comment section saying, that was 10 years ago, it's very different. Okay, so Tyson Fury's improved, I don't doubt that, but who has he fought with similar dimensions to Steve Cunningham? No one. Otto Wallin is much bigger, he's 6'5", and he's a southpaw. Steve Cunningham brings the speed up from cruiserweight, and you could see, when you go and look at that fight, Tyson Fury started that fight trying to box Steve Cunningham at long range. How did he end that fight? With the high guard walking Steve Cunningham down. Why? Because he knew that the boxing with this guy is just not working, and this guy is able to get under my jab and tag me, right? That style, which is a shorter opponent who's not, looking like a beer keg. And what I mean by that is you could have an opponent who's 6 foot, 6'1", but he could be 240 pounds, just as heavy, looking like a beer keg. Steve Cunningham and Oleksandr Usyk. Usyk is 6'3", but he's much lighter. He's in shape. He can move. He can get undershots. He has the southpaw stance. As I said, bothered Tyson Fury in the Oliver Lean fight, especially the left hand. But Tyson Fury, we go back to the Steve Cunningham fight, he was able to turn that fight around. He went from being dropped and being caught repeatedly by Steve Cunningham. It wasn't just one right hand. Steve Cunningham was having success landing on Tyson Fury in that fight. He was able to find Tyson Fury with other right hands as well. But let's look on screen and we'll see how Fury was able to counteract all that. So first clip we have here. Fury, what do you notice? High guard, going to the body, and a left hook. He's able to actually knock Steve Cunningham off balance. Let's look at it again here in the full version. Hands up. When do you see Tyson Fury? Hands up, going to the body, left hook to the head. And he actually puts Steve Cunningham off balance, so Steve Cunningham swings and misses, right? Let's have a look-see at this again now in slow motion. High guard from Fury. When do you see that? Blocking the shots on the gloves. Goes down to Steve Cunningham's body. That's a 6'8", 6'9" heavyweight against a 6'2" heavyweight, and he's going to the body and he's landing shots on the inside, right? And that type of inside fighting right there was inside fighting that Joshua did not do against Oleksandr Usyk. And you want to say Tyson Fury, this was 9 years ago. Fury can still do that now. He's a very adaptable fighter, is Tyson Fury. He's a very good fighter. You know, people would say, gee, you're such a hater of Fury. He's a tremendous fighter, right? I criticise when criticism is warranted, and Fury has definitely earned a lot of criticism, definitely. But look at this again. Slow-mo. High guard from Tyson Fury. Gave up with the long-range boxing. Cunningham can't land. Body shots from Tyson Fury. And boom. Snaps the head back at Cunningham. Cunningham's now off balance. So Fury, who spent the first half of that fight really trying to keep Cunningham off guard, off balance with the jab, wasn't having any success. But when he comes and uses his strength, is able to walk Steve Cunningham down. Let's look some more at some of these shots. So Fury has Cunningham up against the ropes. Boom! Big uppercut from Tyson Fury. He's able to land that. He's able to land that big uppercut. Big uppercut on the ropes. Let's look at it again. Up on the ropes. Cunningham tucking up. Boom! Uppercut goes in from Fury. Here's the last clip I'll show you. Again, gets Cunningham back up against the ropes. Right hand goes in. Right, Tyson Fury backs him up. Look at that. Short shots up on the inside. And Fury is so big, he's so strong, that Steve Cunningham, when they were keeping it at range, he was able to use his superior speed to get inside, land some shots, counter Tyson Fury. When Fury's up close, he's too big. Cunningham can't do anything. He's nullifying Cunningham's speed, and he's doing it in a smart way. When AJ did it, he tried to be just with sheer brute force. Oleksandr Usyk seen that coming, as you see in the first fight in the 9th round when AJ tried to launch an attack with uppercuts. Usyk was able to just cover up the chin and back up against the ropes. And AJ, he didn't do the big man work sufficiently or sophisticated enough. And then he would revert back to type, which was long range boxing, safety first. Fury in that Cunningham fight abandoned the long range boxing. He abandoned it after a while because he said, this guy's too quick. He's too quick. He's getting under my shots. I'm struggling to land on him. And worst of all, he's landing on me. So, tuck up with the high guard, come in, land body shots, land head shots, and ultimately, he was able to get rid of Steve Cunningham. Would he be able to do it with Oleksandr Usyk? I suspect he wouldn't be able to do it as easy as he did with Steve Cunningham, yes. But I still think he'd be able to do it, if you get what I'm saying. I think with Cunningham's a lot lighter than Usyk. He definitely doesn't hit even a cruiserweight. People want to talk about Usyk's power at cruiserweight. Cunningham couldn't crack an egg at cruiserweight, even a heavyweight. So Usyk definitely hits harder. He's a bit stronger, much stronger than Cunningham. And I think Usyk is just more, well, at that stage, Cunningham would seem better. I think Usyk is fresher and just has more wrinkles to his game. I really do. But I still think Fury can do that. So, long and the short of it, 3 reasons why I think Tyson Fury beats Oleksandr Usyk. Setting up shots such as the uppercut, he's better at that than Anthony Joshua, in my opinion. The body attacks on Oleksandr Usyk, which he can do, as we've seen in the Steve Cunningham fight. And being able to pressure effectively and fight a big man fight effectively. The high guard, the body shots, being able to realise that if the long range ain't working and he's too fast, okay, well, I'm going to nullify his speed by using my size. So they're the 3 reasons why I feel Tyson Fury beats Oleksandr Usyk. Let me know in the comment section what you think of these 3 reasons. Let me know if you think there's another reason that I missed. As I said, I called these 3 reasons. There's several other reasons why I think Tyson Fury could beat Oleksandr. There's several other reasons why I think Oleksandr Usyk could beat Tyson Fury. But these are the 3 I was able to just pick from having a look at both guys and what they can do. Let me know in the comment section what you think, what your opinion on this is, and yeah, leave your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you could, lads and lassies, smash the like button. Really does help. Hit subscribe. We're getting some growth back going on the channel, which I'm good to see. We're getting there. As I said, when I done one of these on why AJ beats Usyk, I mean, that went semi-viral. I was really happy with that. That done well. If I could do the same with this, I'd be a pretty happy G, wouldn't I? So let me know in the comment section your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed the video, people. Smash the like button if you could. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. For now, lads and lassies, I'll talk to you. Peace.